staff, advisors, and fellow secretariat members. Welcome to KINGMUN 2020's closing ceremony. I would firstly like to thank each and every one of you for your efforts to make this online iteration of KINGMUN possible. I am pleased to announce that in the face of a worldwide pandemic, MUN Northwest's first online conference proceeded very successfully. We are proud that over 100 delegates were able to attend this year and keep this King County tradition alive. Although there were many departures from a normal format, I would now like to welcome our Chief of Staff, Anusha, to speak about awards.
A conference is made great by the staff that serve as a connection to you delegates and build the committees that you've all been participating in thus far, and KINGMUN is no different. Seeing the staff that have worked incredibly hard for months to make this conference happen in action this weekend was one of the best feelings, and I couldn't be prouder of all of you. Your boundless enthusiasm and commitment to this community is what I love the most about working with you and the rest of the internal team, and I can't thank you enough for that. Additionally, the efforts put forth by the staff and delegates alike has been remarkable and a true testament to your resilience in an uncertain time. I saw delegates passionately debating infrastructure improvements to transportation and grappling with the consequences of military action. Issues that today's leaders still don't have clear solutions to, and yet you took them on with inspiring passion. So without further ado, we will now begin the awards with a digital twist. Maya, the USG of principal bodies whose tireless work and drive made her an easy person to rely on for anything, will be introducing her committees first.
Hi everyone, my name is Maya Nair and I had the honor of serving as the USG of Principal Bodies for KINGMUN 2020. I had so much fun overseeing the unique group of committees that consisted of the UNPBC, UNSC, UN Habitat, and UNCTAD. We would like to recognize the work of the UNPBC DIAS team for their pre-conference work, although they could not be here for this conference this year. I've had such a thrilling and insane time working with all of these DIAS teams. They are truly some of the biggest and most interesting personalities that I've ever met. My staff members have never failed to surprise me with their energy, willingness to do work, and chaotically creative ideas. Although we could only have a few in-person staff meetings, our online calls have been a blast, and I'm so happy to become so close with all of you working around this new experience. Thank you all for working so hard to make this conference happen. We truly couldn't have done it without you and your dedication. With that being said, here are the awards for the principal bodies.
Isha, the USG of Intergovernmental Committees, who is always willing to help with anything and whose boundless enthusiasm uplifted our internal team, will now present her committees.
Hey everyone! I worked with ACN, CSTD, ICAO, and IPAD. Even though not all of these committees came to fruition this year at KINGMUN, I just want to take a moment to say how incredibly amazing all these staff members are. They all put in so much effort into writing background guides, learning ROP, and just making sure that you guys had a great community experience. All of these people put in the work and did it very well, even when the conference's future was really uncertain. I helped them with ideas and edit here and there, but when it came down to it, how the conference ran, your guys' community experience was all based on how these staff members would perform, and they did not disappoint. So moving on to just the delegates in these committees. We all had concerns about delegate participation in a virtual conference, but we really had no reason. You guys did amazing with very little guidance from your dais, making thorough working papers and bundles of ideas, debating really long without any prompting. So I can say without a doubt that your guys' willingness to adapt to new situations is why KINGMUN was a success this year. So without further ado, here are the awards.
And last but not least, May, our USG of Specialized Committees, who rule the often chaotic role to specialize with a steady hand and calm leadership under pressure, will introduce her committees.
Hello everyone, my name is May Houts and I had the honor of serving as the USG of Specialized Committees at KINGMUN 2020. This year we offered a wide variety of specialized committees and many were new to the conference as well as the circuit. I had an amazing time working with the specialized staff on their respective committees and their dedication and hard work is absolutely incredible. This year we prepared 4 unique committees, which consisted of Margaret Thatcher's Cabinet, the Joint Crisis Committee, International Press Corps, and MI6, the last of which we had to cancel due to complications from moving to the online platform. All of the committees required distinct ROP, ROE, background guides, position paper guidelines, and/or crisis updates, among other materials, which staff worked extremely hard to prepare. I am so lucky that I got to work with such creative, talented, and devoted staffers. While the virtual platform was new to all of us, they persisted and adapted so that we can move forward with KINGMUN. When I stepped into the committees, I was so proud to see the delegates being so creative and passionate. I want to thank each and every delegate that attended the conference and the staff and my fellow secretariat members for making KINGMUN happen. And without further ado, here are the specialized awards.
Congratulations to all our awards winners. Now here to say a few parting words is KINGMUN 2020's Secretary General, Sherveen Mefersan.
As our conference comes to a close today, I would like to thank every single one of you that have participated and helped throughout this event. First, to the teachers and advisors. Thank you for reaching out to your students during these times and engaging with them about the conference and staying strong as we're all separated. Your effort and dedication that you put into this club as well as organization means the world to me, as well as every single one of your students. All of you bring this community together. To Model United Nations Northwest, for allowing this event to happen and giving KINGMUN a platform to rise and funding for the future growth and endeavors of the conference. This conference would have not been the same without your assistance and willingness to help. To my secretariat team, who didn't know what they were signing up for back in 2019, when we assumed this conference would be much more different than it was today, for sticking by my side and putting in all our hard work to good use and not letting go of this conference. I am forever grateful for your dedication and will to move forward and persist. To the amazing KINGMUN staff, from learning how to use Zoom to sticking by my side and believing in the conference itself. I couldn't have asked for a better group of people to make this conference the success that it was. And for that, I applaud you and honor you for sticking by us and moving forward when the times were uncertain. And finally, to the students who stuck with us these past 2 days in their house, dedicating their time and effort to a conference that was on the verge of cancellation. This moment means a lot to me, as well as my team, because despite the rearrangements, despite the lack of an in-person conference, all of you came together today as a community for the purpose of keeping this conference's annual tradition alive, and by showing me that there's a true passion and grit in the Model United Nations community. I truly thank you for all you have done. At the beginning of this conference, I talked to all of you about the purpose behind the call for action, where it isn't up to anyone else but you to step forth and push yourself to speak up, take a risk, and work for change. I would like to take this moment in time for all of you to think about this past weekend. What did you contribute to committee these past few days, and how did you influence it on your own? It's at times like these that we need to take those moments and reflect on our past for us to learn, adapt, and conquer the future. Individuals like you came here today out of your own free will to participate in a conference, and what you made out of it was your decision. From those experiences, you've learned how you can communicate in different scenarios, hear each other out, and as a result, develop a compromise. Use these moments as inspiration for future endeavors throughout your life. Take the skills you've developed to push forth an idea, bring people together, and to apply yourself into the real world. The point of these conferences is to evoke inspiration into the delegate who comes forth and participates, and to truly cultivate leaders who will make an impact on their community. I hope all of you think and reflect on these past 2 days, and to take into consideration how you can be that catalyst for change. Now, before I send you all off today, I would like to point out that this is a very special day for a few of us here on our last day of the conference. From delegates, staff, as well as secretariat, there are many participants on each level that are now seniors, and today marks your last High School Model United Nations Conference. Yes, I know, this is not what you expected when it came to this being your last conference. I understand that over the accumulation of all these years, this is not how you wanted your last time to end. But don't let this moment take away from all the good memories you've had in the past. Don't forget how much you've grown and developed as a delegate, diplomat, and most importantly, as a student through Model United Nations. Although these moments might not last forever, they do cumulatively make up the person you are today and will indefinitely help you grow in the future. From your very first conference at the start of high school to the very last few minutes of today, the time between are a plethora of experiences and moments we will never forget. I came to the very first KINGMUN back in 8th grade. It was the first conference that started off my MUN career, and I never looked back since then. Along the way, I met new people from different schools and got to participate in over 17 different conferences, and with that, the chance to be a staff as well as secretariat member. I could never repay the experiences and skills that this community has given me, the friends that I have gotten closer to, and the knowledge that I have learned. These past 4 years were full of long nights, many meeting calls, many laughs, lots of waste paper, and a whole lot of published documents. I feel like a lot of my peers and I get the same question when we get asked about MUN. Why put in all the time and restless nights? For what? Well, it's for the community. For the fact that I have the ability to better another person's experience with my hard work and dedication. That time and time again, every single late night, editing background guides, editing videos, writing out emails, and being on calls is for the purpose of benefiting others. The thrills of late nights during hotel conferences and the early mornings of waking up and helping my fellow secretariat, staff, and delegates out. And when I'm all done, the true feeling of catharsis of getting the job done. Those are the moments I strive for. We strive for those moments. This is why we put in the work that we do, to build each other and ourselves in this community. Here's to the next 5 years of KINGMUN and a celebration to the past 5 years of KINGMUN. Thank you to you all. It was an honor serving as your Secretary General for KINGMUN 2020. And thank you so much for serving the Model United Nations community for the past 4 years. It was a time like no other. And with that being said, are there any points or motions on the floor at this time? Yes, you, the one behind the computer screen. Since all of the motions will be ruled dilatory at this time, we will now be voting on the delegate behind the computer screen's motion to close KINGMUN 2020. All those in favor, please raise your hands now. This motion clearly passes. King County Model United Nations 2020 has now ended. Thank you and see you.